Today is the day, Oakland. One best of 5 separates these teams from the title of Summer Champions and runner-up. Cloud9 fans hope that this Cinderella story from last ends with a championship title, while Team Liquid fans dream of this title being another in a long era, which continues into their first Worlds. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NALCS Countdown, where for 30 minutes we open each team's trophy case and preview the day's heroes until the timer reaches 0, and we jump into the opening ceremony. We got to welcome Solo to the desk for finals day. What is this? What do we?
Well, the Jenga was pretty impressive.
Jenga.
Oh, okay.
And looked very precariously balanced. It's the most impressive part of that to me.
Really?
Already on the
whole
other
opening, not the
we're
shots of the
here.
bridge.
Doesn't matter.
Massive arena with
Yeah.
tons of fans.
Did you see that
But did
Jenga?
you see that Jenga?
Simple minds, simple pleasures.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. Well, again, Solo, thank you so much for joining us here to preview the day's matches. Mark, though, it was my understanding that yesterday you were on the ground with the fans to experience the tailgate. So let's take a look at what you and the camera crew caught.
Hey everyone, it's Mark Z here, and I'm outside Oracle Arena before the games just to get the fan experience in the fan zone with all the booths set up. So let's go take a look at everything. We're going live the whole everything, right? I'm not gonna cut for... I don't know if I'm the right guy to be on here. I'm pretty sure it should be Jack for doubting Reaper. I never doubted him. I'm a team player too, so if I need to get benched, I'll take one for the team. Cornhole. This is my favorite. Every time we have look lives, I talk about the cornhole. Do I get to throw an Emin? Am I allowed to? One shot, one kill. Did we get that? Okay, good. That's the most important shot we're gonna get all day of me doing something good. You guys know how much I love cosplay, so of course I have to get my shots in while I can. Hey, can I get a picture with you guys? Do you remember me from Delta Fox when I was the analyst for one of the worst Challenger teams ever? Do you guys mind if I get a picture with you? A coach, an analyst? I don't know, you remember me, right?
You were our budget-ass coach on Curse, dude.
On Curse!
I blame you for
We were good on Curse.
We
were better on
But I'm still not giving you an interview.
What happened with Delta Fox then?
I don't know, you guys tell
yeah,
me.
he wasn't-
That's what I said. I said,
for
do
Delta
you remember
Fox.
me from Delta Fox? So can I get a picture?
No.
All right. Wow, 100 Thieves is crazy. Oh, there's Nate Shot. Maybe we should go try and harass Nate Shot into giving us free merch, because I haven't gotten any from 100 Thieves yet. Nate Shot! I'm a big fan! Nate Shot! I would love a Mark Z shirt. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jeff. I'm a large. Usually there's 2 E's. It's okay. I'm not mad.
I'd rather get free merch that's not quite right.
Right? Then no merch at all.
Than no merch at all, which is why I was disappointed.
What's on
with
the other side of
Thieves.
this?
I don't know.
Fly Quest. What does that say?
Showing greatness?
Showcase greatness.
Yeah. I do that.
I think for me though, my favorite part was the reunion of the Delta Fox squad. Were you just not aware of what your role on the team was, analyst or coach?
They cut a lot of that out because they forgot for a second. They're like, oh yeah, you made one spreadsheet at the beginning for us, and then we didn't follow it at all. And then I just went on broadcast because I was casting the Challenger games and made fun of them like I had nothing to do with it.
But here's my five. Did you have fun out there?
Yeah, it was great. I'm sure everyone is very happy with all the pre-game festivities.
Yeah, some of that's still going on. Of course, we got lots of fans loading into the arena behind us. We got 25 minutes until game time, so plenty of time for this entire place to fill up. The road to the finals ends after weeks of competition, as we see in the bracket presented by Jersey Mike Subs. Let's take a look. 4 competitors fell to the wayside, leaving only today's finalists, Cloud9 and Team Liquid, to compete for the title of 2018 Summer Champion. If today's competition needs a feast to match, order at jerseymikes.com with the offer code JMNALCS, and you'll have some league content to complement today's games. Last week, though, Cloud9 and their rivalry with TSM were the focus of the newest Eyes On episode. Fans online pointed out how this could potentially doom the championship hopefuls, but the team has prepared the necessary remedy to take down the Eyes On curse. Take a look.
When I heard that every team or player in an Eyes On video has lost their next match, I thought, so what? It could never happen to me. Until I was playing in the finals. Riot's Eyes On curse can affect all LCS players, whether they're rookies or veterans, and the effects can be devastating. Thankfully, there's hope with Reaperdoll. Reaperdoll has been shown in LCS trials to be an effective tool in combating losing streaks and may help break the Eyes On curse. Used in conjunction with memes, moderate exercise, and merch from the Cloud9.gg store, Reaperdoll can help players manage their symptoms and in some cases, even reverse the effects of Eyes On. Reaperdoll is not for every team. Side effects can include headaches, bereavement,
You're a little bit dumb, is fact.
swelling of the biceps, and benching. Check with your Reddit moderator to see if Reaperdoll is right for you.
Riot and Cloud9 have nothing to do with this ad, and all positive benefits of this drug have not been approved by the FDA, LCS, LCK, LPL, or LMS.
They claim to have found the cure. The evidence will have to show itself today, though, as today is how we determine whether or not they are cursed from Eyes On.
I don't know if I buy it. You were in an Eyes On once. It was like
How do you feel about
You feel cursed?
We probably could use some Reaper this season, that's for sure.
All right, well, for more on the championship match, we're going to hand it off to today's casters, Freak, Kobe, and Dazale.
Thank you very much, Dash. Looking at this matchup, just the number of games played between the two teams shows, I think, a stark difference in experience. For the Team Liquid starters here, 1,503 total games across the roster, and that's more than the 7 players that Cloud9 brought today. I think it's actually very exciting, just the difference there.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and I think that you have to give a lot of credit to C9 for building up these young players. They've developed a tremendous amount of North American talent. You've got Golden Glue, Blabber, Licorice, Zazel, not to mention guys like Wiggly and Smoothie who are no longer even with the team.
Yeah, you just have to look at the awards that Cloud9 has won. In spring, Rookie of the Split for Licorice. In summer, Rookie of the Split for Blabber. And Coach of the Split for Reaper.
And Contracts won one too.
And Contracts as well last year.
3 in a row. Yeah, they're actually absolutely incredible here. So among those players, the most veteran and the only one with an actual trophy on Cloud9 is Sneaky. Of course, he's up against the now reigning MVP in Doublelift.
And Doublelift, winning MVP, definitely deserved here. He has had a long history specifically with Sneaky and against him, 25 and 21. It's actually a lot more even than people would think because Cloud9 did win quite a few of those. Doublelift, though, has historically had the edge in lane, 4.8 CS advantage, plus some gold advantage there at the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, and history really is the word. I mean, there's so much history between these two players, and for Doublelift, it's spanned 3 teams. He played against them on CLG, TSM, now Team Liquid. These guys have been battling it out for so many years and been considered the best of the best at the marksman position in North America forever.
Yeah, Doublelift, Sneaky, both exceptional players. That's things that we're looking for in this matchup. Back to you, Dash.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. The experience is something that we could dive deep into, and we will as we narrow in towards the match at hand. But hoping that I can call a friend for every question of today's and maybe the final edition of Jat Stats here for the summer split, I do have to hand things over to Jat.
And this is a finals edition of Jat Stats, so every question has to do with the NALCS finals.
Oh, I was hoping it was just these 10 players. I was like, then our odds go through the roof.
So, the first question, across all the players who have played in finals, and this is the total number of games, so however, like Sneaky's played 30 games in the finals.
Right.
Who has the highest KDA in NALCS finals history?
Regardless of number of games played. There's no minimum.
I'm thinking that this is a bit of a trap question. It's going to be someone who only played a couple times.
1 or 2 times.
Because Bjergsen, as much as we're like, what, greatest player in NA history potentially, he's also lost a lot of finals. Right. He's just been in so many. So I'm leaning towards someone who hasn't shown up so much.
Yeah, think of
I'm
the
thinking
11 finals.
It's going to be tough. I think it's got to be maybe
Stixay?
Who was
Oh,
it?
that might be a
Would
bad
it be
guess.
like Stixay? Because of just a couple appearances, like he was in the.
It's gotta be
wasn't there for
someone
the
who's
first
only
CLG
won,
win.
right?
That one's
right.
That one's a good guess. I'm going to go with who was the mid laner for GGU that showed up for just that?
Jinte.
Jinte.
I'll go with Stixay just because I'm playing the odds of few games played, and he did come away with a win.
He's going with Stixay. Are you going with Jinte?
I'm going with Jinte.
Solo, who are you going with?
I'm going to go Doublelift, actually.
That's a fair guess.
It's Doublelift.
Come on!
Overlooked
He's
the
only one,
MVP.
right?
See, Jat's in our heads,
He
Mark.
lost
Like,
that one
we
game with
overthink
Stixay.
every question that comes our way.
Yeah, I'm the
Meteos-
pair of fresh eyes.
Can we get a check on Jinte's just so I know?
Right, like
How,
where do
how
I fall
ridiculous
in the
was that?
ladder?
It's not great. They lost. By the way, the highest single series KDA was Meteos with 54 once.
Well, superstar
It's
jungler.
insane.
Yeah,
Of course. I mean,
Last finals lowered that for.
Wow.
Question 2. The highest DPM difference across a finals series. Who holds this? And I'm going to give you a hint. This player is playing today.
oh, I think it's got to be a C9 series versus TSM. Who was?
I know who it's going to be, but I think I do. It's
Just
all-
share.
all
Be a
of them.
team player.
I
What do you
think,
do?
I think I'm thinking the CLG, Povelter played Victor versus the TSM, won 3 games
was a beast on Victor.
Just
He
AoE
must have
damage.
yeah, AoE
big
damage.
damage.
Yeah.
That's a good guess.
I think that's going to be me.
The other weird thing I think it could be is someone like Xmithy. Like, weirdly, because we've had a couple jungle performances in the history of the NALCS
Oh,
with, like,
I'll even
really
give you the
abysmal
you have
damage.
the DPM difference. It was plus 395.
That doesn't
Which,
help.
that's probably too much.
Don't pretend
That
that's a
tells,
hint.
that tells you
That's
it's
not
not
a
a
hint.
support. It's not a support.
You're right.
mark.
That- yeah,
I was
okay.
gonna be confused
I really like the Huhi vote here.
Or Pole Belter.
Or Pole Belter vote here for the first CLG victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go high from one of like those early 3-0 dumpsters that Cena had over TSM.
Okay, it is actually Pobelter.
Yes,
Against
fresh eyes.
You must
Solo.
have seen my
series
phone or
is
something.
Woo!
I was
I'm just-
sending the stats in.
I know it's
2 for 2
I saw
for
you guys
Solo.
go get lunch together.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Pro
Yeah.
players are so much better than us.
Yeah,
at
the
chat.
second
I'm really an
highest
LCS history buff.
was actually Bjergsen over High in the 2015 spring. Final question, another finals question. This champ has been picked 6 times in the NALCS finals and has never lost. The next 100% win rate champion has only been picked 3 times.
100% win rate. Finals history. Well, it could be something like
Is it
could
gonna be Victor
well,
again?
it could be something
thinking
like
maybe.
Meteos' Zach.
That's what
I was
about,
thinking. So
yeah.
if we're going all the way back to the OG Cloud9 wins, that could be Meteos' Zach.
And Zach kind of did fall off later on in
Right.
LCS, so there wasn't so much finals Zach.
There's
right?
only been
Right.
so many plays. Exactly. The other option I can think of.
I'm trying to think like a Tristana, like those feel like they shoot up too much though to be
Yeah.
Right.
just
Only
6
6
What's the
picks.
pick that's only been played so
We've
many
had
times?
11 finals, but it's never lost.
There was like Lou. No, played too many times.
Too many
Played
times.
too many
gotta be
times.
too many.
Is Victor been played too many times?
I mean,
I
if,
feel like
Yeah,
you
already-
if I
we already
tell
know
you
it's
how many
3-0.
times he's
Yeah.
played,
I'm gonna lean towards Victor.
You stole my pick.
I'm gonna go with Zach. I'm gonna go with Zach.
Alright, Zach
I'll go
is
with
good.
Victor because Solo's got everything right so
he
far.
is 2 for 2, but it is actually Syndra.
Oh,
Really?
6
Well,
and
TSM's
0 in
TSM's
NALCS
He's
finals.
only been played 6 times
Yeah, that's
in
shocking
NALCS
to me.
finals. That's
Yeah.
what's surprising.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Anyway, that'll do. There's a lot, so many fun facts here.
Hey,
Like,
I got 1.
I got
Solo
2.
got 2, and
Yeah.
you got 0.
Jintae's KDA was 2.4 mark.
Close.
So not
Yeah.
close to the
Oh, really?
highest of all
Right
time.
there.
Like
It was a
right,
5-game series. You know,
right there.
Right there. I love it. I love it. Hey,
Oh,
I
by
mean,
the
that
way,
was
Doublet
as bad
and
as I
Sneaky
expected.
are 3rd and 4th in all-time NALCS kills, 94 and 93. So
in finals.
yeah, and if Sneaky gets 23 kills this series, he'll pass Bjergsen for #1 in the all-time wins.
Woo! 20
right.
kills in
I
a
can see
series.
that.
It can happen with a 5-game series, without a doubt. It's time for a quick commercial break. When we return, we take a closer look at the Cloud9 trophy case and preview the paths that both teams took to arrive today. Don't go anywhere.
Season 4 is when I first debuted, and I've never even made it to the finals or even the playoffs of any split. To win the finals of the summer split and go to Worlds, it would mean like the last 5 to 6 years of my life has all been worth it.
2 years ago, I attended the finals and I watched C9 play. And I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, wow, that'd be so cool to be up there. And now, like 2 years later, I'm gonna be up there.
I think they are making really amazing story, but I think defending champion is way better story.
They all have to prove something, but us ourselves, like we also have to prove that we're still the best in NALCS.
Hear the chants of the fans, they know it's over. They are pushing themselves forward to protect their reign over the LCS. Team Liquid will find themselves on the final stage in Oakland. Canadians thinking to end the game. I think C9 have done it.
Round 9, from last place to the finals.
It's been 3 years now, and I still haven't won a trophy. And I feel like I'm so much better than this.
Both of us won it in equal amount, but our motivations are really different. I think if I win this one, then I'm at 5. To me, it's just trying to cement my legacy.
Welcome back to Oakland for the NALCS Countdown, where opening ceremony kicks off in about 10 minutes. We got the fans doing the wave behind us in preparation for the hype matches that are about to hit your screens. Earlier, though, Freak mentioned the collective experience for Team Liquid and Cloud9, so we wanted to take a look at the titles alongside the games played for both of these teams, and the contrast is huge.
It's massive. The biggest discrepancy is xSmithy with 382 games and 3 titles. Just switch the top of those graphics, and Blabber has only 12 games. TSM has played more playoff games in the past 3 weeks than Blabber has played games in his career.
Well, just look at the totals as well. With 5 players, they have 500 more games than a 7-man roster and 11 championships to the 5, all those coming from just Sneaky and Svenskeren.
I mean, Solo, talk to me about how much experience actually weighs on a player's mind, because not too long ago, you were in a position like Blabber or any of these rookies, you know, maybe staring across the NALCS stage at different top laners with years of experience on you. So how does that really play into the way that you approach a match and stack up against some of these guys?
Well, it does a little bit, just because in a best of 5, being able to adapt really quickly and kind of mold your playstyle around what the other team is doing and other top laner is doing is really important. So, you know, just having that experience to call back on means a lot, and it will, I think it will affect the outcome of this game.
And we want to talk about experience, and the most experienced player to a lot of degrees is Doublelift on this stage. His trophy case dwarfed by only one person's, and that would be Bjergsen.
And that's crazy considering just a few short years ago during his time on CLG, he was memed. He had his own subreddit called Doublelift's Trophy Case, which was empty. There was never any post there, and now he is competing with the greatest all-time player in the West, or in North America, against Bjergsen for the number of titles.
Exactly. A win here matches Doublelift with Bjergsen for 5 NALCS titles. Doublelift also picked up his first MVP this split, so winning back-to-back titles goes a long way.
And again, the other side of that coin is the C9 youngins, right? Those guys like Blabber who have such little experience. Golden Glue, who we saw the feature on, he's been in the LCS, he's been around the scene, but still doesn't have that playoff experience.
Yeah, not only just the young guys, but Jensen, who's been in this league for a really long time and still has gone to multiple finals and not been able to get that trophy. I think this is a really big moment for him to finally get that one, finally, you know, go into Worlds as a first seed. And Sneaky, too, who has had a ton of success early in his career, but hasn't been able to grab another one outside of the original C9 roster.
Yeah, it's been over 4 years since Sneaky won his last title. Blabber was 13 when that happened. Now Blabber is starting alongside him in this game. So the difference in experience, I think, definitely between Sneaky and guys like Blabber, Licorice, and Zazel, who only started playing pro at the beginning of 2018 or halfway through 2018, is a really interesting dynamic C9 has.
Yeah, I mean, outside Ole, every single member on TL has been playing since the inception of LCS. Not necessarily in LCS, but competitively somewhere in the world.
Yeah, and it's interesting when we track C9's journey, analogous to TSM's, where we talk about TSM, they're trying to recapture that identity of winning, the legacy of winning. Cloud9, similar fashion here. You just mentioned the kind of drought they've been in terms of titles as an organization, but they are an organization known for being near the top of the NALCS, and they're definitely in search of another finals trophy here today. Nothing feels better than hoisting a trophy in front of a crowd of fans, but that accomplishment only tastes sweet knowing the struggles that individuals took to earn that victory.
And you heard them kind of mention that C9 kind of has all the storylines going for them. The anime storyline of Golden Glue. He's basically a shonen protagonist where he's been kind of stepped on for a long period of time. People don't think he's very good. And then all of a sudden, through hard work and dedication, he's emerging as one of the best players playing, obviously, in this series.
And they were being stepped on as recently as 6 weeks ago when they were the last place team in the North American LCS. But then as you can see here, both Team Liquid and C9 went on pretty long win streaks towards the end of the split. 2 of TL's 3 losses in their last 10 games were to C9. So they were both right at the top of the league.
I mean, to be coming out of week 3 with only 1 win, I mean, that's just, it's tremendous, this up and to the right that they have had here on the second half of the split. But with all that said, it's not as if Team Liquid isn't without their own epic journey to be told.
Right, I mean, like, narratively, they feel very far apart, but in terms of actual performance, both teams have skyrocketed in the second half of the split. It's just that it was more expected out of Team Liquid given that they won Spring Split, and then there was that bit of a letdown at MSI where they had a lot of people expecting a lot out of them. They made their own little rally there and then fell apart in the tiebreaker game. So I think Team Liquid still has a lot to prove, even if it's not quite the inexperience and missing trophy cases that we see on some of the C9 guys.
Yeah, if anything, there's an incredible amount of pressure for them following a poor international, showing to step up here on the stage and win in somewhat definitive fashion. You don't want to take a step back from your spring place finish before heading in to international competition.
Yeah, now that TL is going to Worlds, they really want to show like a good performance today so that they can kind of get that momentum moving forward. They can show that they're the team that the NA wants to have them represent, and they want to be able to perform at international.
And speaking of, Avli caught up with Coach Kane, who's excited about the potential slugfest this finals could promise.
Thanks, guys. Kane said that he is very excited for today's match, and he has a lot of faith in his players. He said that the team fit as much practice as they could into their busy week of travel, and they feel super confident coming into today's finals. He said that he knows Cloud9 had a little bit of a rough start at the beginning, but that's not stopping them from respecting them as strong opponents and as a really strong team. Guys, we have a great series ahead of us. Back to you.
Strong opponent, strong team across the rift from them. Of course, coach of the split in Reaper. I think we should acknowledge as well that Kane led this team to, this isn't a dud of a coach on the other side. There's just been so much conversation about the way that Reaper has shaped the Cloud9 roster and those young guys, but Kane has put together a pretty phenomenal team.
And don't forget, Kane worked with Reaper about 2 years ago when he was the bot lane coach officially and helped level Smoothie up a lot. So these guys are very familiar with each other, and I'm sure Kane kind of wants to get his revenge for Reaper winning coach of the split and all that.
4.5 minutes to the opening ceremony. I want to get some win conditions out there on the table. So break it down for me, Mark. TL, what do we got?
Yeah, of course, I got TL. And so for me, the first thing is I want to avoid the game-playing metagame. Not that you can't pick it, but what a lot of times happens is you leave it up and then you take some kind of counter pick into it to try and smash it or scale similarly. I don't want TL to play that game against C9 here. You know, Licorice was not playing too much Gangplank, but started to pick it up towards the end of the split. I also want Pobelter to get counterpicked when possible. Doesn't matter if he gets the Swole Bros or Jensen and Blabber. I'm concerned about him getting picked apart by either of those duos, and so I want him to have as much information going into his pick as he can have. Smithy early invade for Vision to make sure that they're tracking, especially Blabber if he's in, and then the Kindred Zillion if Blabber and Jensen. I just really think Kindred's so powerful that they don't always need the Zillion and vice versa.
Yeah, I really do think C9 needs to deny that Kindred Zillion when Blabber and Jensen are in. But for C9, things they really need to focus on is to have Sneaky have some type of success in lane. It can't be Sneaky in lane lull or like his stats in 2018. Otherwise, Doublelift can run away with the game, much like he did the semifinals. And to help with that, I want to see them pressuring the solo lanes. That draws Xsmithy away from the bottom lane and prevents Doublelift from being completely taking over the game. And something that's really hard to quantify for C9, but is to not be afraid of this moment in this arena. We saw the experience earlier. They have 3 players who are in their first year as professional gamers. against the defending champions. That experience difference can be huge. C9 has to find a way to block that out.
Yeah, we're working through the win moments of past NALCS finals on the big screen behind us in the arena. So again, hype building. You can feel the tension in the arena building. But Solo, how do you reconcile with some of those win conditions? The big thing that jumped out to me is, of course, the GP comment on both sides of the equation. So there might be a lot of, tit for tat stuff going on in Champ Select.
Yeah, I think especially the first draft will be telling about, where teams want to pick GP, how much priority. You saw yesterday 100 Thieves were picking it really early because they knew that if they get someday on that champion, they'd have a really good time. It's going to be, kind of a feeling out that part. It's going to be really important that they don't let double lift kind of hard carry, especially through lane. You really just want to be able to make someone else on TL have to beat you.
And Impact said recently in an interview he thinks Licorice is the best player on C9. Wow. That wasn't true in spring when he wasn't playing tanks, but now that he can play tanks, that changes the equation. So that's an incredibly important matchup here.
Go ahead.
I was just say, and the GP war thing, like if winning the war means that TL is forced to ban it, I'd rather see them lose that part of the war as opposed to the in-game war where they're getting smashed by a GP.
And if I must, one more thing. I think Malzahar is going to be really big, especially if they put in Golden Glue. And I think just in general for TL, having Pole Belter on that champion just kind of gives him a really easy mission for the game.
Yeah, now, Jat, you talk about not being afraid of the moment for Cloud9. And again, the moment that these youngins are about to experience, stepping up on stage, having the announcement in front of the crowd, hearing the roars of the fans who are about to watch you play for the biggest title of your life.
I know.
How do you not let that affect you, man?
Both of these teams have mental coaches here. I've seen them walking around with the players. They're taking walks. They're trying to blow off steam. They're trying to get the right frame of mind for this moment. But you can talk about it all you want. It's experiencing it that changes things.
All right, here we go. A minute ahead of the opening ceremony. Let's get some predictions on the table. Who's going to be the 2018 Summer Final Champion? Mark,
I'm going to go with C9 3-2. I think that they'll be able to overcome never playing League of Legends like this before in front of a crowd. I think these young guys have a lot of guts. You haven't seen them be scared before, and I don't think this will change that.
3-2 close series. Solo, what do you got for me?
I've got 3-1 TL. I think the veteran experience is going to mean a lot, especially in this stadium. I think that they are able to adapt faster because they just have more, experienced players. They have more versatile, and I think, they're going to take it.
All right, Jat, what are you thinking?
I think C9 stumbled on something special halfway through the split. I think they got this 3-2, and we're going to see all 7 players.
All right, I want to see all the games we can. 25 seconds on the clock. Let's head out to the stage as we close in on the 2018 opening ceremony.